What's up, YouTube, and welcome to my channel. I'm Nick. You may know me from my El Boss de Bosses channel. If you haven't seen it yet and you like COD videos, I would advise you to check it out. I've got some pretty awesome theater mode videos up on it. But if you don't like COD, that's fine. That's why I created this channel, actually. I wanted to separate my FIFA videos from my Call of Duty videos, because I know some people who play FIFA might not play Call of Duty and might not even like first-person shooter games. And people who play Call of Duty may not like FIFA games, so I thought I would just create two separate channels so I wouldn't be filling your inboxes with content that you don't want. Now, before I get into telling you what this channel is about, first let me tell you what's going on in this game. In the first half of this game, we were both very unaggressive, so he sat back a lot. Actually, he really didn't make any attempt to attack me at all, and I was very low pressure. So I changed my tactics up a little bit at halftime. I became a lot more aggressive, a lot more high pressure, and it really paid off, as you'll see later on in this clip. The final score, I think, was 5-0, which scoring 5-0 is pretty good for one half of soccer. I'm sure there's people out there who've done better, but it's always a good half when you can score 5 goals. And while this guy wasn't the best player in the world, I'd say he was decent. He was just, I don't know, I'm trying to put this lightly, I would say he's a pussy the way he played, but I punished him for it, so I don't have any complaints. Now to get into the main part of the discussion, let me tell you what my channel is going to be about. My channel is going to be about integrating real-life soccer into FIFA. So, for example, taking tactics that Real Madrid or Barcelona or Spain or Brazil might use and trying to integrate them into the way I play in the game. So, for example, take Barcelona's possession play, get players forward and keep the ball forward, and try to possess the ball for around 65% of the game, which is usually what Barca possesses it for about. Sometimes they even hit the 70s in good games. I'll show you that type of play, and then I'll show you the alternative to that, which would be countering. So, like, if you possess the ball for around 45% of the game, but you still get the majority of shots countering, it's much more defensive, much more cautious, and it doesn't take as skilled of players as Barcelona. I'll show you that type of play as well, and everything in between too. So I plan on covering a lot in this channel.
Some analysis of actual games too. So, for example, the Real Madrid-Barcelona game coming up, I plan on breaking that down and explaining why I think Real Madrid and Jose Mourinho might have the superior tactics to Barcelona, and while they'll prevail at the Bernabeu. And then I will also break down Barcelona's style and why Pep Guardiola's style of play is superior to Jose Mourinho's. And they both have their strengths and weaknesses. It's kind of a give and take. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then I also plan to do some pre-game simulations on FIFA, see what FIFA predicts. And then finally, I will make my own pre-game predictions. So just what I think will really happen in real life, because FIFA doesn't always take into account all the different factors. So I'll give my own personal breakdown of why I think they'll win. And then I'll watch the game, probably do some Twitter updates during the game. And then after the game is over, I'll do a recap of the game, explain the things that happened, and then explain why I think they happened, and why the team that ultimately won prevailed, and why the team that lost. And if they tie, which I'm really hoping they don't, because that would be a boring outcome for an awesome game. If they tie,
I'll break down the tie and explain where both of them went wrong and why their tactics ultimately ended up neutralizing each other. And the final thing I'll have in this channel are some awesome clips of soccer I've found on the internet. So, for example, I found a clip of an 8-year-old at an indoor soccer game doing some awesome dribbling moves, and I put that in my favorite section. So if you haven't seen the clip yet, check it out. It looks like the dad's posting a bunch of clips of his 8-year-old son. He already has some clips from when he's 6 and 7, and it's just amazing to see the progression of that kid. Looking forward to him being on the U.S. national team possibly in the future, just assuming his progression continues. And also just find any basically viral soccer clips I'll see. So, like, recently this week, a clip that's gotten 5 million views is a clip of a guy doing a flip after taking a PK. And that was pretty sick. If you haven't seen that too, I'll put a link to that in the description. And then I'll do videos about anything and everything having to do with U.S. soccer culture. So, like, for example, this summer, I saw a commentator during the World Cup make a comment about offsides that I thought was a little off target, and I'll explain why he was wrong and why Europeans take stuff like that and look down on us. Because truly, like, if you don't understand the basic rules of soccer, you're not going to get respect. And U.S. soccer is working to get respect. I mean, we're already pretty embarrassing as a soccer culture when you think about it, because we're one of the biggest soccer cultures, yet we're only, like, what, probably realistically around 15, 16 in the world. And we should expect more. We have one of the best youth soccer, not one of the best, I didn't mean that, one of the biggest youth soccer systems in the world. I think it is the biggest. And we put a massive amount of money into the development of youth soccer players, but for some reason we still don't develop players on the same level as the Spanish players or Argentinians or Brazilians. Like, there's absolutely no reason we shouldn't be producing players. And often the excuse used is we don't have the athletes to do it, because all of our athletes go to sports like football and basketball. But when you look at people like Landon Donovan and Josie Altidore, it's like these people are great athletes. They're just not on the same level as athletes who are equivalent to them. Like, what makes Jose Torres that more athletic than Josie Altidore? He's not really that much more athletic. He just grew up in a country where they developed him as a player better. And I'll explain this a little bit more thoroughly. I don't really have time to explain it right now, so I'll let you enjoy the end of the game. If you notice at the very end, the guy doesn't rematch me. I wonder why. But it's been real. Look forward to talking to you in the future. I'm Nick. I'm out. Peace.